Korean Zen came from China before Chinese Buddhism split into 5 schools. Then later, as time went on, Chinese Buddhism split into 5 schools. 2 schools went to Japan, Rinzai and Soto. 3 schools actually mostly died out in China during the Ming Dynasty. But the Korean style practicing came from, first student was a student of the 4th patriarch, then the 6th patriarch. So the style came from before this 5 schools, before Soto and Rinzai. So that time they used anything for teaching. Then Kongan, whole Kongan history, at that time there weren't really Kongans, you know. They just used everything that appeared. Then later somebody said, oh, that was very interesting. Student said this, teacher said this, student said this, teacher said this, student got enlightenment. Then they would talk about it and then use that for teaching. But originally it was just a moment to moment, whatever appeared. So even the Kongan style that appeared changed over time. Like, what's the first Kongan in Zen? Buddha went to Yongsan Mountain. Then 1,200 disciples came to hear his Dharma speech. But 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed. Buddha didn't say anything. Finally, he just picked up a flower. Nobody understood, only Ma Kashyapa smiled. Then Buddha said, my true Dharma transmit to you. Of course, that's a bad speech because everybody has Dharma. How can you transmit it? But the Buddha picked up a flower. Only Ma Kashyapa understood his mind. So that's without speech connect. That's the Zen style. Without speech connect. So originally, it's just at that point. Just that Buddha picked up a flower. Then time went on, time went on. Then 3rd patriarch, or I don't know if it's called 3rd or 2nd or something, Ananda. That time, there was an old man who was a student of Buddha's named Sanakavasa. And he was a merchant, and he liked the Buddha very much. But one day he was off on a long trip. Then when he came back, Buddha had died. Also Ma Kashyapa had also died. So that hit his mind. Then he decided to give all his money to the monks to support them and just live with the monks practicing. So he went and he gave all his money and possessions to Ananda and to be used to support the monks. And he lived with them as a layperson. Like we live here. There's lay people also living here. Then they all practiced together. Then when Ma Kashyapa was alive, he already talked to Ananda. This man, Sanakavasa, is a little special. So in the future, you take care of him. Meaning you give him some good teaching. So Ananda was watching Sanakavasa for about 5 years. Then one day he went to Sanakavasa and he said, you know, your practice is very wonderful. Also, you gave everything in your life to the Sangha, to practicing people. Why don't you now attain Dharma completely and give Dharma, you know, by becoming a great teacher to others? So with that, Sanakavasa began to practice even more strongly. Then one day, Sanakavasa and Ananda were sitting together. Then Sanakavasa had some doubt in his mind. There's this saying, everything in the universe appears and disappears. That's the law of appearing and disappearing. When appearing and disappearing both disappear, that's stillness is bliss. Then Sanakavasa is thinking, where's this place where appearing and disappearing disappear? He used more technical words like origination and something or other. But he said, where is that place? Then he asked Ananda. Then Ananda didn't say anything. He just pointed to Sanakavasa's robe. Then Sanakavasa didn't understand. So he asked him, where is the place that all Buddhas arise from? Then Ananda reached over and pulled his robe. Then Sanakavasa got enlightened. So, same thing, no speech. Buddha just picked up a flower. Ma Kashyapa understood his mind. Sanakavasa asked this question. Ananda didn't use speech. Just first point, then another question, then pull the robe. Then Sanakavasa got enlightened. So originally, this Kongan was without speech and words. Then later, Bodhidharma time, Bodhidharma went to China. Then he understood right away, Chinese Buddhism is very attached to making murder, doesn't understand correct practicing. So he didn't try to change Chinese Buddhism. He went to the mountain, sat by himself 9 years, just waiting for some good student to appear. Then he wouldn't talk to anybody. Finally, one day, this one monk appeared after 9 years. Then a famous story, Buddha would not acknowledge, Bodhidharma would not acknowledge him. Finally, this monk cut off his forearm to show how badly he wanted the Dharma. Then Bodhidharma turned around and said, "What do you want?" Then this monk said, "My mind is in pain. Please, Master, give my mind rest." Then Bodhidharma said, "Give me your mind, and I will give it rest." Then this monk looked and he said, "I cannot find my mind." Then Bodhidharma said, "Then I have already given it rest." Then he got enlightened. So that time some speech, but to just give me your mind. Then third patriarch, fourth patriarch, same kind of story. Then down, down, down. Many interesting stories. Majo, mind is Buddha, Buddha is mind. Then later, no mind, no Buddha. And people learned from these speech. They woke up. Then finally, Linchi and Doksan Inje appear. There's Guji. Then they're teaching very simple. Any question, one finger. Any question, ha! Any question, just hit. Just the teaching is a primary point, that's all. Just return this person's mind before thinking. Then, so that was Kongan style. Then later, this Dongsan, what is Buddha? 3 pounds of flax. Just perceive this moment clearly. Floor is yellow, outside the sky is blue. Unwin, what is Buddha? Dry shit on a stick. Very simple speech, but just perceiving clearly. Then later, more complicated. The bird with no wings flies south. The stone lion roars at midnight. Then Zen was not so connected to everyday life and to practicing. It became more an intellectual game. Then died, because not connected to human beings' life. So this century, last century, I don't know, many teachers have a different style. Our style is very important that substance, truth, and function become clear. Because sometimes in the past, this is not clear. The separation is not clear. So, sky is blue, trees green. That's fine if you're a monk and you just stay in the mountains. But that will not help people in society. So, how connect to human society? This is a human being's relationship. But our teaching is not to just get enlightenment, get enlightenment, get enlightenment. What is the correct function of enlightenment? That means a wisdom action. So, kongans help our everyday life help our kongans. Even nowadays, people are very smart. Even you sometimes can answer a kongan from your intelligence, but cannot digest it used in your everyday life. Then that's a problem. So, this kongan teaching means keep our correct direction. Correct practicing direction is not just a peace mind, it's not get psychic powers, it's not just my get enlightenment. It means, what am I? Only don't know. Only become one with the unit. Return to this original nature. Take away our thinking. So, when we can't answer a koan, right away we get don't know. Then, just continue with don't know. So one point is this koan practicing helps us because many times we feel, my wisdom appeared. Me too, now I got wisdom, Then if some koan appear, wrong. Oh shit. They're very good for us because not only koans, everyday life also does that. Everybody here, tomorrow you'll go to some situation, maybe you won't know what's going on. If your opinion appears, you'll have a problem. If you keep don't know mind, you can understand the other person. Make harmony and find some clear direction together. So first is keep our practicing direction. What am I? Don't know. Second is substance, truth, and function become clear. Then your wisdom in everyday life grows. Then you can make a better function in your relationships. Take away your suffering, help others with their suffering also.